Shop. I'm gonna go talk to Diego, see what he has, figure out what the best fit is, and hopefully you guys walk out of there, bike out of there with a purchased kayak. It seems like this is the best option in Panama. Excited to get there and talk to him more. So just setting up all my food for the first little bit, and you can see here what I have left from before, so I'll add the rest and we'll see where we're at. Okay, now it is time to count the calories and the weight of the food I have here. But I'm thinking it's around 10 days so far. Okay, I built the list up. Let's tally it up. So that's how many grams I have, not including the little bit of coffee and a toll. So adding those up, we're just gonna round up to about 7,000. We have 7 kilograms worth of food, or for those in pounds, that's about 15.4 pounds worth of food for give or take 10 days and a little bit of extras. Let's do calories now. Look at that, just shy of 30,000. I guess if we divide that by 4,000, we're looking at about 7 days, 6.933, and I have a little bit of extra stuff, the toll in there. But I don't know if I'll need more calories if 4,000's a bit of an over-estimation. Yeah, so we'll figure it out, see how it all fits, and see if I'm going to carry more and go back to the store. So there will be no more food bought because this is the bag, very full. Charging the marine radio. Okay, so on the docket for today is I packed up the food, charging things. I'm gonna reorganize my stuff, get it into bags, bike it down to the kayak shop, kind of solidify a leaving date, hopefully as well. And then after that, I will bike back, get ready for tomorrow, which is the day I meet the French couple again, who's graciously offered to ship my bike. Yeah, so that is the plan there. Come back here, camp. If I have a date solidified, gotta pay up to that point. And yeah, get it all organized. Hit the bank today as well, I need to. But yeah, I'm looking forward to everything, getting it sorted. Good morning. You can see my fun new hat. But yes, yesterday was quite hectic. It was, the bike is gone. I know I don't have footage of the bike being there beforehand, but what happened yesterday was I packed on the bike for the French couple. My bags, I gave it a wash down, saw if it would fit in the vehicle, but it turns out they're gonna pick it up here, which is nice. So I have that organized. I have to start messaging people and
find someone who can store it when it gets to Cartagena. But anyways, now this morning it's taking like an Uber or a DD towards the kayak place, dropping off my bags, things like that, and then doing the same in the morning, but then busing back, it looks like, in the afternoon is my plan.
Hello, hello. I'm guess all packed up for the final day. Just about to catch a DD. The kayak shop just finished up here. Thank you again. But we shipped on my bike. It was great. We had a great chat the other night. And now I'm headed to meet Diego at the kayak shop. We'll load up there and then head off. Am I a little nervous? For sure. Especially kayaking through croc country. I've never been in crocodile country, so that's a little nerve-wracking. But it's a new adventure and I'm very excited to see where it leads. But let's get to it. Well, about to set out. There's the kayak fully set up. And there's the boat launch to Lago Gatun. Thanks, Diego, for dropping me off. About to set off on a big adventure. It's about 11:15 and it is hot. I have a bunch of sun clothing on, as you can see though, but hopefully it doesn't get too bad. Let's go on the water. Hard to tell, but that is moving and it is huge in person. So just had a situation where I guess the Panama Canal guard stopped me and told me I couldn't kayak here. I was like, oh, I've been told I can. In broken Spanish. And he asked where I was going, and I mentioned across the lake to Portobelo for now. And basically he was on the radio for a while, and he was like, oh, we'll help you back across, like you gotta get out. And he's like, only motos, and I'm like, oh, that's a pain. And I'm like, don't people kayak on this lake, kind of deal? And then it turned out he spoke to me again and he was like, you have to stay out of the channel, which I knew, but it's okay. So I got a permission to go ahead, but nearly disastrous, trying to find a ride back into the city and then somewhere else. So glad that turned out for the best. Another big ship, but a little scary. I was stopped by another police boat. This one was a lot more aggressive. They were like, you can't be here, you're in trouble, you're in trouble now, like you were told. And then I was like, oh, like the guy told me I could be here just on the sides. And then they're like, you're the Canadian, angrily. And then they were like pointing in the direction to go back. And then they were like, wait here. And I like stopped, and then they like floated away. And then like, that's it. And then they drove off in the other direction. So I called my friend from the kayak store, Diego. And he was like, yeah, that's normal. You're allowed to be in there. And it's like they have like a type of canoe that's from Panama that they do training in this area from. So there's that as well, but definitely stressful though to think about it still. You know, getting harassed by, I guess, cops in the boats. We're like, don't know that I'm allowed to be here. But all I can do is keep paddling, hopefully get somewhere that I can camp eventually and get out of at least the narrower canal part. So hopefully I see less issues from people. But onwards. So this is the camp spot. I guess not too far on shore, literally about 60-ish feet, so not the ideal distance of what they say for being away from gators, about just under half of it. But I've only seen one set of like town looking tracks over there, and then no slide marks, so I don't think they're really hanging out here. I'm hoping, but I'm gonna set up camp right there, my kayak against it, hope for the best, because a lot of the beaches here, there's really just not that much space. So it is what it is. So there's on my first gator. So gator count is now at 1. A little nerve-wracking, but it's just swimming along. Hopefully, me being tented up here, I'm gonna put my kayak in front of it, sleep on the side further from the shore, I'll be okay. But now sitting on the beach, about to cook dinner and watch for crocodiles, and then I think about the jungle behind me and the big cats. So it's definitely a lot to get used to, just like present threats. But gonna make some camping craft dinner or mac and cheese, and then tidy up, and then I'll probably go to bed early, get up early, and just kind of hit that routine. Good morning. It's another beautiful day. It's 8 o'clock, it's quite sunny. I camped over there, as we learned last night, and the gator swam by last night, so it's gator count of 1, but I'm all loaded up. It's hot. So today I have about 20K to the, I guess, the beach up, take off the stuff, and then head on to the river, and then go through there to the opening to the sea. Hopefully I can do all that today, because I don't think there's gonna be a lot of places to stop. I guess I had got recommendation to go through these islands, but I really don't want to cross the canal again, especially after yesterday and all of the, I guess, issues with the canal police, just not knowing that I can be here. I don't want to push any buttons. So technically, while I can cross while there's no one there, I don't want to entice anyone, so I'll go a bit longer and go around instead of the direct straight route. But that's the plan there. Other than that, it's just going to be a lot of paddling, and then I think from there it's another 10 kilometers up a river, so about 30 overall to this beach. So big day. It's hot. So I guess I got stopped by a police boat once again. They were nicer, but it took a while. Just wanted to see my passport again, ask where I left from, where I'm going. But these guys were a lot nicer. But it is full swing into the heat. Going around this parked boat. Costco shipping, just in case the off chance, even though they're anchored, they decide to reverse, not get in the way of anything. Adds a bit extra, but what can you do? I made it to shore, although that's what I have to go through, so it's gonna be hell. So we'll see. So this is what I gotta trick a kayak up. Get all my stuff up, take it up this 500 meters to another boat launch, and all my gear. Not as much, I guess, of just walk it over as I was led to believe. But what are you gonna do? It's gonna be a bitch, that's all. And it's a bit thorny, so. Hello, hello. You can see my nose. Nice and sunburned, but it's about 4:45. Kayak is locked up there, and my tent is right here. Got the little cooking set up for tonight, and this is the view. But anyways, so what happened was basically I lifted the kayak all the way down here, which was insane. Google Maps says it was about 500 meters, but it's basically heavy enough that like I can't put it over my shoulders, and there's not good enough shoulder rest the whole way. So I was struggling with that. So I was dragging it for a while. I finally got it here after like half an hour, 45 minutes. It's long and it was raining. And I walked back, and I guess right beforehand I'm like, oh, I have my passport wallet in the boat, and I'm like, I should go back for those, and I do. And it's a good thing I did, because when I went back to my stuff, I had a drink of water, and then another army dude and another cop showed up, and they're like, where are you going? Where's your kayak? Why are you here? You're not allowed to be on this shore. And I was like, oh, I had to lift my kayak in one go. Oh, this stuff's too heavy, right? And basically after that, it was, you know, a lot of looking at my passport, asking the same question again. And then they're like, okay, like, take all your stuff. And like, I had so, like, all my bag stuff is like, I could barely carry it for a short distance all by myself. And it was like up this, like you saw the embankment earlier. And then it was just like another 20 minutes of them waiting with my passport. And then they were like, okay, you can go. And so I was just like, so twice today, kind of like, I don't know if I mentioned on the water as well. Again, just like cops like, what are you doing here? Kayaking, can I see your passport? Questions. And finally let me go, and they're like, stay on the outside. After I'm like, I was told I could do this. And they're like, yeah, we know. I'm like, okay. But so I finally got here, and I was just like, I was gonna kayak more, and I'm like, it's too late. It's already late. I can't go any further. So I'll go in the morning, because it's like another 12 kilometers down the river, and I'm just like, I cannot do that before it gets dark. So I'm camping here, and that's the update on today. Pretty hectic day, pretty darn exhausted after all of that portaging, but onwards to tomorrow. Good morning. You can see the kayaks loaded up. River in the morning. I was told by a guy here last night that he saw a few big crocs, so watching out for those. But going down the river for about 12k to where I would have camped was too far. Yeah, yesterday was just a gong show, and now I'm leaving. I think hopefully I'll go to about, I'm thinking because of that, it'll be too far to go all the way past Cologne safely, because I've heard Cologne's not the nicest spot. So I'm thinking there's a marina-ish area beforehand, try to camp there, beaches, it's supposed to be okay, and then push a paw across the next day. Also too, because I'm getting to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna need water again soon. So there's that to consider as well. It's like glass. It's definitely a little nerve-wracking, knowing probably how many crocs there are on this river, but not staying here for long. There's the sea, or the ocean. Nearly made it out of the Croc River, and you can also see up there, there's a fort, and supposedly, according to iOverlander, there's a beach somewhere with a tap for water, which would be much needed and appreciated, but we'll see if I can find it. So, made it to my first secluded beach. You can see there's a bit of road access over there, but it took a walk. Very muddy. Fortunately, no water here. I'm pretty sure Google said there was a tap, but I'm thinking I'm gonna head, it's about 11 o'clock here. I'm gonna have lunch, continue kayaking, and make it to around the marina, and then hopefully stop and get water there, and camp there for the night, and then push on past Cologne, because it'll be too late. It's like, I guess 8 kilometers or so to the marina. So 12, 1, I mean there, but like there's gonna be nowhere safe to camp past Cologne, so I'm gonna have to do that push all at once. Wide open sea, the coastline. It's a lot quieter out here without the howling monkeys. So update, made it to a beach. I can't remember the name, but right now there's a bunch of fishermen. Had a conversation with one, seems like it's a safe place. But I guess on that note, I went to the marina. I pulled up by this white tower, see if I could camp there, get water at the very least, because I was running low. Walked up, they're like, manager's in there. I went to go get water, so I was able to do that, luckily. But then the manager put me on the phone. I was like, oh, I'm kayaking, yada, yada, yada. Can I camp here? And he's like, no, you know, because you're in a tent. And they gave me some spiel about tents in the past had ruined it. I don't know. Just a ring around. And, you know, and then he was like, oh, that white tower, it's not our property. It's private, like government. They're going to take your kayak, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay. No one came, but like immediate to you should leave kind of attitude, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. But I found this nice beach, and hopefully everything goes okay here. There is road access, so it's that to think about, but could go for a little bit of a swim. Good morning. The kayak's over there. Just packing up right now. I guess camped out on the beach. So last night was pretty peaceful for the most part. I guess someone came by around like 2 in the morning. Like a group of 4 or 5 guys, and they were just walking along the beach and then running their vehicle for a while. So I don't know what that was about, but they didn't bother me, which was nice. But a little hectic and night to wake up to that, be like, okay, what's going on? But yeah, so I'm, I guess, just on the, if you're looking out to the ocean, I'm on the left hand side of Cologne, and so I'm hoping to make it past there. There's apparently like an opening to a sketchier area neighborhood, which I'm hoping to get past, and then from there there's these 2 islands, maybe a bit further. There's also a fancier marina apparently, which maybe I'll be able to camp at. Fingers crossed, but I haven't had much luck so with Marina, so probably not, but yes, another day paddling. There's Cologne, and hard to see on the horizon, but there's about at least 16 giant freighters out there. So they're all waiting to get into the canal, or waiting to head off, or customs, who knows. But there's a lot of ships out here. Waiting for the big ship to go, so hopefully I can cross. Don't know how legal this is, but I have to be quite far otherwise, so hopefully I can cross this quick. Just me, myself, and I. Well, as you can see, I am soaked. It is pouring out, much more than I expected. I luckily found this leaky palapa, and I'm hanging out here. I guess I'm near, there's a research institute right just past Cologne, and I almost got to it, but it just got to the point where like a fog rolled in, this rain. I was like, is there wind? And I was like, I gotta get to shore. So I beelined to there. I was like, I don't want to be on the water for another 10 minutes. Try to get to that location. So I went as quickly as I could. Here I am, and now it's waiting out this weather. There's also some lightning strikes. I guess closer, I counted around 8 seconds, so from my knowledge that's around 8 kilometers away. But if stuff gets closer, I definitely don't want to be hanging out for a minute. So for now, it's just gonna be hanging out on this palapa, waiting for the weather. It is currently, I guess I marked my time at 12:17 and it's 12:20, and we'll see when the rain lets up. See right there, my shitty attempts at rain catching. Might as well catch a little water while I'm here. Rainwater is supposed to be fine to drink. Sort of bad as long as it's not touching any sort of roof or material or plants beforehand. So take a little bit of water. But yeah, time for a wrapped peanut butter Nutella-esque spread and cookie sandwich for lunch. It is just storming, like crazy claps of lightning and thunder. I'm glad I'm here. Doesn't really do it justice though. Weather has cleared, at least for a little bit. So I'm gonna start kayaking again and make some more distance while pleasantly soaked. Oh, update. I guess I'm aiming around for that point there, and I could go into the bay and then cross around, but it's an extra 2-3 kilometers. And I guess it's supposed to thunderstorm and rain more, so I'm gonna attempt the crossing to get across before that to these little islands to camp. There's a marina nearby, but I haven't had much luck with marinas. I queued yesterday, so I don't think I'll have much luck again, and so I'll probably camp on the islands. But let's get paddling. Potential camp spot for tonight, looking pretty idyllic. See, bugnet, the sandflies are absolutely dreadful here. I am just getting murdered. But on an island where it looks like they tried to start some sort of building resort, pretty nice. Good morning, another day. I am leaving the campsite. But so many sandflies. They weren't the super bitey kind, but they were just everywhere, nipping occasionally. In the tent, out of the tent, there was no relief from them last night. So last night was not fun. Hopefully wherever I end up tonight, it'll be less. The shoulder's a bit sore, so I'm a bit nervous about that, but there's not much more I can do than try to paddle and not be too hard on it. But yeah, heading out, it's closing in on 8:15. But yeah, let's get to it. nothing out there. It's calm today though, sunny. Here's some music blaring on the coast, but just making my way along. Middle of nowhere still. I'm hoping to make it over there. It's about 12 now. I want to get closer to shore in case the weather gets bad. But I'm gonna refill the water. So I have two waters up here, one here and one I just took out. Obviously this isn't the most exciting content, but this is what I do to refill the drinking water. Water's refilled. Just thought I'd show the process. Everything's a little harder on the boat, especially in the little waves and how big the boat is. So it makes everything a bit more challenging. I did not beat the cloud, but so I just got permission to camp. Just passed from the yellow one right there. I guess the guy running the center there, not the owner. Thanks so much, Christian. But I got permission to camp on that tiny island right there. Just with warnings of bugs from 5 to 7, which is not bad. He was like, maybe the place next door, they don't have cameras and they're leaving, but I didn't want to camp on someone's like immediate private property without permission right there. I didn't think that was the best idea, and he's like, I know, because thieves go through there to get to our motors. So I was like, I don't know if I want to camp near that. But I'm heading off now. Very excited to set up camp here. Made it to Portobelo, so I guess the first stop on the journey. So, camped on this island, and thank you, Kristen. I guess I headed to a scuba diving resort, and asked if I could camp there, but they're like, the owners probably wouldn't like that camera-wise, but they're like, we own this little island, so here I am on this little island. And this is the view. Sorry for the up close. Not bad. I guess I'm close to Portobelo, just on the outside skirts. Like, this is considered Portobelo, but it's not the main center. But yeah, so I'm just drying some stuff, gonna put it in the tent, and then make something to eat. Good morning, another day. Quite sunny already. Kayaks loaded up. Thanks, Christian. Gonna head out, make some more miles today. Battery's running low on the camera, so may die and not get the full day, but it is what it is. Quite peaceful today. So just ate lunch right over there. Had some octopus-esque curry with some patacones, which is like flattened, twice fried plantains, to my knowledge. It's very good.
it's nice to stop somewhere for lunch, and the view is not half bad.
Wind's blowing this way and more choppy, which is kind of a pain. Slower going, and looks like a rain cloud over there with some thunder in the distance, so hopefully it doesn't come this way. Coming to a sheltered bay where there's some marinas. I'm gonna go to one of them and ask if I can stay there, and hopefully I can. There's a grocery store in town, and I'm within walking distance if everything's safe, so that's kind of my plan there. Stop there, hopefully let me stay, and then go grocery shop. Let's get to it. So this is where I'm at tonight, and surprise surprise, some beans and ham, spam in a can. I made it to a marina. I'm all set up, and there was a grocery store here, and it looks like it's the last kind of one for the stretch, so I got another 5 days and a bit of food, and so I'll have that to run off of when I get into the other areas. But there is the haul. So you can see a very large but expensive jar of Nutella. Basically I'm thinking that will last me the rest of the trip, is what I'm aiming for. So whew. Yeah, so left the marina a bit later than normal, 9 something, had to do some stuff on the phone, but managed to charge everything. It was a late night though. Power bank takes forever to charge. Plugged in at 7 and it didn't finish till like 11:30, so fortunately didn't get to sleep till late. But it is hot, but it is beautiful down here, and it's calm so far this morning. There's an island over there, but just more paddling today. Lunch today, like any day, peanut butter, Nutella spread, a tortilla, and some cookies. Keyword calories. So walking back, I just got permission to camp at a marina. I asked the restaurant and they were like yes, but she was like, during the day, yeah, it's safe. Don't know during the night for camping. And I'm like, okay. So I thought I'd ask the marina just if it's safe. And he was like no, so I don't know how much of a difference it makes, because as you can see it's kind of wide, but I asked if I could camp in there and he's like yep, and he says it's safe, so I'll do that even if it doesn't make that much of a difference. You know, it's big boats, scary stuff like that, so better chance of being safe. Good morning, just leaving another marina. It's about 9:50 or 8:51. It's a nice camped out right over there. There was a beach I arrived at that people said wasn't safe right beside it, so moved in the marina, let me camp here. Coming up another push today, and I'll be approaching the, I guess, the peninsula out. Right before the Gulf or Bay into Cardi. So exciting. I'm getting to close to where my friend Sylvan started, so making progress. Very, very bloody hot today. Just, I think it's day 8. Just very much lacking energy today. I'm tired. It's hot. That's about it, really. I've stopped in the shade for lunch, although kind of hard to see here. But I am just not feeling it today. I'm tired, exhausting. It's day 8. I have blisters and skin cracks all over my hands. It's just long, but what can you do? Just had an hour rest out of the sun. To be honest, very needed. Today was just a rough day so far, heat-wise, so glad I took the time out of it. Look at the shore. There's the tent. And the campground. So I looked this up beforehand, and it looks like it's related to a festival for electronic music, I do believe, that happens. But this year, they're doing it in the mountains. And the reason I mention that is coincidentally, I believe it would end today or tomorrow. So at first I was like, fuck, there's gonna be nowhere to camp there. And then what do you know? Turns out there is, because they're having this festival somewhere else. So I checked it out. Looks pretty good. There's a little hut house over there. There's a hammock there, but it's all locked up. And it doesn't look like it's being used. Maybe the road's been a few times, but on a bit farther over here, just as it gets dark, I don't want to attract any attention if anyone comes over here. But yeah, something to talk about. It really is a shame on here, all of the plastic that washes up. You can see all of that there. You know, I don't want to romanticize stuff too much, so there's all this trash on every beach. It's not just this beach, which is really a shame that it just all washes up here from the ocean. And it's mainly all bottles, or at least that's what's floating. Well, good morning. You can see my disheveled self, or roughed up, but it looks like we have, just looking outside, it's raining, and we have, I guess, not some nice clouds and a bit of thunder in the distance. So I'm gonna make breakfast, do a bit of reading, and see about leaving then, and then start packing up, because definitely don't want to be on the water. It's bad weather, and I'm in my tent at this point, so make a call then. More peanut butter, Nutella-esque, and cookies for breakfast. Yum. We'll have to leave it that. Wish me luck. I met a few gentlemen over there gathering coconuts with machetes, so that makes me a little nervous, but they seem nice. But I'm gonna head out soon, just not overstay my welcome. So update, I tried to exit through that. May not look like much, but I completely flipped, got out into it, and the kayak is just too lanky with the weight to control, and it just got worse and worse. And then all of my stuff came out, and I was trying to pull up the kayak up the shore and grab everything before it floated away. I lost a full water jug in the end. I thought I lost two, but I managed to find one 10 minutes later, and I lost one of my spare paddle sets. So much for in the back being secure. Thank God I have my food bag strapped to there. I managed to get my water bottles, my GoPro. I'm very exhausted, and I was very scared. And that's just leaving the shore, which is very frustrating. I just had asked two Panamanian fellows for help. Thank you so much. But my plan is this smaller surf, there's a rock chip out here, and then skirt out here where the waves are coming and around. It's my best hope of getting out. Hopefully nothing bad happens, but it's even though the surf is like, well, I guess it can go up to chest height here, some of the waves. It's the pulling, the in and the out. I'm glad I mean, in hindsight it sucks, but I only lost a water bottle and half a paddle. It could be much worse, my whole trip. And unfortunately, the chair is bent, which sucks for reselling, but at least I made it out, and then there was help for me to take it down to this beach, so I saved time there. So I'm gonna try again. Hope to God it goes smoothly. Almost lost the GoPro last time, so potentially it's all gone. So we'll see. Yeah, I did not really film today after this morning. Just really didn't feel like it. And then it got quite rough a lot. A lot of surf dodging, and then there's some situations on the water that did not make me feel better, and it kind of put me in a state of exhaustion, I think, from just the stress and the adrenaline. But this is where I'm going to camp. It's a little clearing. There's some construction going on over there in that direction. But it doesn't look like there's a path here, so I shouldn't be bothered at all. I'm just gonna camp here for the night, because I don't want to keep pushing. It doesn't look like it's gonna get better, and it's just more rough surf break with high winds and gusts, and I really don't want to be paddling in it. Hello. You can see where I camped last night. Just right in there, like always, just buggy as hell. It's basically impossible to not wear full clothing, just being eaten alive by a sandfly-esque bug. If you don't like bugs, don't do this. And I mean that, like, you gotta have a high tolerance, because it is just constantly attacked. Not mosquitoes, just small little things, ants, everything wants to bite you. And sleeping is not fun. Full tent, because it's always potentially going to thunderstorm. You're sleeping with that cover on too, so it's hot, capsulated, and those sandflies get in. Doesn't matter, they're still in there in the droves, but not enough that you can open it up for a breeze, because there's more outside. And the ones outside want to bite you more than the ones in the tent somehow. So yeah, it's I think it's day 10, literally everywhere, on everything, to the point where you can't close stuff that's supposed to be patent pending to seal. You know, people always shit on etiquette for that line where they're like, I hate the sand, it's coarse and it's rough, yada yada. Never again will I shit on etiquette for that line. I guess you can see the rain cloud again with some thunder, but I'm hoping it doesn't get too bad, because I'm rounding this island, and then it'll be I guess closing in out for the day, or getting closer to where I need to go. I think under 8 kilometers, but Yeah, it's definitely windy. I'm closer to the shore. Just away from the break. Probably heard that. But yes, I also got service for the first time in a long while, so I was sending some messages. But yeah, continuing on. The official beginning of the San Blas, just over there. Very exciting to have made it this far, but now we'll be finding somewhere to camp and then get water tonight or tomorrow. About to leave again. This was the camp spot. It's over there. See mangroves. Holy, these sandflies on this trip, it is a mental battle every day. Just camp is worse than the water. It's not fun. They're just everywhere. They bite. Like, I tried to a video last night show my hands just swollen with these bites, and they get through everything, and they're inside the tent, and they're worse outside because the ones outside want to bite you, but the ones inside have already bitten you. It is just, and I wake up and there's like pockets of them just filled and lined, and it's so hot, and I'm sleeping in a long sleeve shirt and wet pants from the day to try and keep these things off, but it's not working well. Hard to see on the GoPro, but that is beginning of the San Blas Islands. Just stopped here for lunch on an island. But I ran into friends I made in Panama City at the Overland Embassy here on this island randomly. I was eating lunch, they walked up, took a look at me, and they're like, I know you. And here we are. So we had lunch together. It was quite nice to see them randomly. And now it's a little stormy. Here's some thunder, but I'm gonna be heading out again. Gotta make some more distance because so far it's been a very short day. But yeah, it was very exciting to run into them. Leaving friends for this weather. A little scary, but gotta keep making kilometers, or miles as the Americans say. So I don't really have a choice, but it is what it is. And that island seemed quite expensive to stay at, even to camp. So I was gonna stay there, but let's continue paddling. So we're at camp last night. A storm rolled in all along that coast. Couldn't see through it, too windy, so I rushed here. Had to camp here, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, but it was nice. Had dinner and breakfast and camped for about $25 US. A bit expensive, but what can you do? Got a little bit of water though too, and so gonna head out today and make some more distance because yesterday was a short day. It's about 9:45. Time to stop for lunch. It's about 12:40. Been paddling since this morning, but on the water once again. As you can see, rings are on. Pretty stormy looking, but no wind in this cove and only slight thunder, and the coast pretty close. So I'm gonna keep paddling for a while, see if I can make some more distance, but pay attention to the weather. Well, it definitely hasn't gotten better. But here I am, shore. You can't really see it, it's just over there. So I'm gonna follow that. And if it starts to thunder a lot, approach into the shore and wait it out. But maybe find a beach. But for now, just keep paddling. Lovely weather. Well, it's 4 o'clock and the coast is just full of mangroves. Literally nowhere to shore up. So I'm gonna push to those islands out there on the horizon. Hopefully I can make it there before dark. Well, made it to the islands. And here it is. There's some sailboats over there. And so I think I'm gonna camp here tonight. So quite a nice find. Hopefully the sandflies aren't that bad. So as you can see at camp, I'm drying some stuff before putting it in the tent. The tent got quite wet. Rained the other day and then it rained during stuff. So this is happening right now. Midst of unpacking. I probably have about 20 to half an hour more minutes of sunlight. So I'll use that to just kind of unpack and hopefully start making some dinner and get to it before it gets too dark. But because this is it for good night. Once again, that's sunset, eh? I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, just finishing packing up. You can see. Had the island to myself. I just got visited by a nice lady. She doesn't speak any English. And, you know, I speak a little bit of Spanish, but we talked about her work. She works on one of those sailboats over there. So she invited me over for coffee. So I'm going to finish packing up, head over there, have a cup of coffee, and then get going. But pretty nice. Hola from me and my new friend. We had some coffee together and some breakfast.
Saludos.
Adios.
Chile.
Well, had a lovely breakfast, coffee and pan, cafe and pan with that woman there. It's lovely. We met, she just kayaked over. She was working on a sailboat and I guess her captain's away, but her captain dog had to go to the washroom. And so we met there and we chatted for a bit and she invited me over. So it was a lovely time. Now I'm out on the water. Beautiful, but it is literally like glass and it's just reflecting back up and it is hot to say the least today. So I am roasting, no wind, just glass. So good for miles, bad for comfortability, that's for sure. But last night, thankfully, the sandflies were not as bad on that island. So here's hoping to more of that. Hard to see, but a bigger island community. Cell tower, lots of buildings. I think there's like a little medical center there. A little bit of a harbor, a school. So it's definitely a bigger community. But I'll be going past that for about another 5 is my plan. It's about, I guess 10 minutes before 3 now. So a bit of a slower day, especially I guess for the later breakfast. I didn't really get going till 10. So, but it was a nice day. So can't complain too much. Hello again. I made it to camp on this island. Looks like it's gonna be pretty good. Maybe a storm will roll in. You can kind of see those clouds. But about 20K today. Lighter day starting later, and then some service, so we'll get some things distracted on the boat. But what can you do? Yeah, hopefully tonight will be a good night for camping. But see ya tomorrow. Hello briefly. Today may be shorter. We're about to change out the battery, so I got 13%, so don't think I'll have much, but met a coconut collector named Nacho. Chatted for a bit. It's about 8:50, just about to head off. Fortunately, there's a storm you can see that way. So going into that may not be the funnest thing, but it's the direction I gotta head today. So it is what it is, but let's head out. So no recording really today, but I've been sneezing a lot. Lunch on the boat, and I don't know what's making me sneeze, but a lot of chews. But I'm hoping to camp in the next little while. We got more storm clouds above. This morning was rough and then it's moved out a bit, and now it's gone rough again. But yeah, gonna keep going and let's get to it. So I'm camped out. Went to another beach and there looked like a lad there, young adult, but he left right as I was coming in, so I didn't get to asking questions. So I went to the next beach over. Looks like there's been some clearing here, a trail, and there's a small town a few kilometers away, but I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can't really see people bothering me or be dangerous just being way out here. So I will just, you know, gonna camp here on the beach. Wish me luck. Just got invited by an individual named A to stay at his house in the village close by. We chatted for a while. He's 30, he's got a kid, but it's gonna be exciting. About to run out of battery and don't really want to film people without permission, but I may take a photo or two, and I will link them to the photos there, the articles that I have them in. But excited to meet some people who live in the area. Adios! Well, I just came from a village over that way. I was camping on a beach last night, and a gentleman about my age, a fisherman, walked over and asked if I wanted to stay in his village instead of there, and so I said yes, for sure. And so I packed up all my stuff, chatted with him for a bit, and then kayaked over, and he helped tow it in, and then we lifted it into like I would say a larger family, or I guess the son was maybe the village leader or one of them, and the older man there, and I chatted with the older man, and it was very interesting. I didn't film anywhere in there, just out of respect for the village and all the kids there, because there was quite a few children. But they all came crowded over, and we're all looking at the kayak and very interested in how tall I was and where I was from. And so I chatted with them a bunch, and then they offered me a hammock, and I slept in the hammock last night. Was able to take a shower, which was much appreciated, and some clean clothes, and have a good chat. I woke up this morning and I'm back on the water. It's about 8:03, but it was very nice to meet some people who are local to the area. His family, he's lived there his whole life. So of his kids, he's got one son working in Ciudad de Panama, or Panama City, and the rest of the family just lives here. And they have solar, so they have electricity for lights and charging things like phones. No service though,
So I don't think they're, I guess it's mainly for, I guess just utility, like application that phones can provide and other electronics. But they got a school there and 4 teachers we were talking about. And the kids generally do, I think, about 9 years of schooling there. Yeah, but it was very cool to learn more about Panamanian life. Thank you so much to that village for letting me stay. It was a wonderful experience. Once again, the sky is not looking the best, but hoping to push on to some islands so I have somewhere to camp. So let's keep going.
It's about 2:40. Pulled up to an island. It's about rocky on the shore. Slammed into a rock, but what can you do? But looks like someone's done some clearing for some coconuts here. I'm gonna set up camp right here. The closest tree there, this one looks pretty empty, and that one's cut clean, so don't have to worry about any falling on me in the tent. But let's set up camp. Just past 8:30, leaving where I camped last night. But lots of sand flies again, but luckily there was some wind during the the afternoon and the evening. Hoping to make some more miles today. I guess getting closer. I'm probably closing in on 120 kilometers ish left to Capurgana. Getting excited, to be honest. It's been a lot of days on the water now. I think around, God, I don't know, 15, maybe more. But yeah, it's definitely getting to that point where it's a lot of days at sea, a lot of days paddling at sea. So looking forward to finally being clean again. Hard to see from here, but it's looks like part of a sunken boat, sailboat. It looks like the mast is being stripped out though, and it's been pretty stripped, so I wonder if it was parked here on purpose. Very interesting. So another storm. I don't know if it's heading this way slowly or not, because there's a bit of rain out here, or if it's heading inland. The wind's blowing out, so, but it could be doing something different up there. Hopefully it doesn't come out here, but I'm thinking maybe one of those 2 islands out there in the distance. Camp spot for the night. This little nook. Small beach. It's over there, but way more exposed. Looks like there's a little dock and hut, so I don't want to camp there. But town is right there. So I figure hidden away on an island that clearly isn't being used other than maybe grabbing coconuts is probably the best case. So here I am for the night, setting up camp. It's starting to rain, so this could be an early night. Here we go. Oh, so I'm just about to leave this camp spot for the morning. So where I set up tent. It poured quite a bit during the night. Slept through that portion though. See lots of trash everywhere. But good thing I didn't set up on that island, because I guess a man and his kids and maybe his wife, I couldn't see from here, but I heard children's voices, came in the island and looked like they were gathering some stuff, maybe coconuts, maybe they're just coming to hang out, but you know, didn't want to intrude on that space. And here is definitely not anyone's doing anything active with it. So good I was there, because town is quite close. But yeah, gonna head out again today. It's a bit windy. It's probably gonna storm at some point in the morning, but what can you do? Let's head out, getting close. I think I'm about like 100 miles or 100 kilometers away from Capurgana. And so I think that's gonna be my end point. So it's getting pretty close, getting pretty near, like say 3 to 4 more days and then I'll be done. Okay, kind of lunch. Just spent about 20-ish minutes trying to paddle back into shore. As you can see, still quite a distance away. Just being blown off track, which is always fun. But I'm gonna stop for lunch. I've marked my path point on my maps. We'll see how much I drift. It's gonna be about 5 minutes to take out my food, 5 minutes to eat, put it away, and then I'll probably rest for about 20 minutes or 10 minutes, so 20 in total, and we'll see where I am at the end of that, if it's all gone or where I've ended up. But just to showcase, yes, how much pull there is. But yeah, 20 minutes and only about a kilometer because of that, so we'll see. So, update, the drift in that 20-minute lunch period is literally half the distance crossed in 20 minutes back out to where I was. It's very annoying, definitely to like deal with paddling in this, which is a pain to deal with. It's definitely slowing me down, I think. But, what can you do? I'm getting to the point where I think I am approaching day 20 very quickly. It's either 18 or 17, I think, or maybe 19. 17 to 18 or 19, and I'm just at this point, after so many days straight on the water, it's just like, okay, every day is the same, and I'm just like, I would like to bicycle again. That is at the point I'm at. So it is what it is, but let's keep going. I'm sure a break would help, but I really don't want to delay getting, especially when I'm so close. So here I am. So I guess update, I came onto another village, and this one was, I guess, had a village there. I was playing on the beach. Got a guy there who runs tours told me the beach is generally full. There's a bar there, supposedly. I don't know, but I was pretty tired, and so he offered me lodging with food for the 12 US, so there we go. Here I am. I just ate, just had a quick shower, bucket shower, and now hanging out for a bit. But yeah, long day, tired, ready to get to bed, to be honest. The inlet area, another day after staying in that village. Very transactional experience, but it is what it is. Yeah, I just try to stop for some lunch to relax, but it's gusting wind hard here, getting blown into the mangroves here, and just getting shoaled up with the surge or the surf that rolls up. So I guess update, came back to those island chains that I was in. Sorry, I'm just a guy on the island, and I never met him, but he was over there. I had to set up camp. The chafing is so bad. I was just in tears on the water, and it sucked all of my energy to the point where like it hurts to move. It's not a good spot to be in. And I did the math on the water. I was like, even if I do this push, I'm still not a day
still just over a day away from the last port in Panama. So I'm here. It's kind of a tough pill to swallow, but I just don't know what to do with this. It's there every day. Nothing makes you go better. It's better in the morning, and then it just gets worse again. And I'd describe more, but it's not very, I guess, content friendly, but it's just definitely draining the day.
Hello and good morning. I guess camped over there. This island. It looks like there's a little garden here and a trellis, so when it's set up, but no bother, just saying hello to some fishermen. Another point here is, I mean, yes, it's remote, but if I'm on an island, generally I see the coconut man with a machete every morning. We have a conversation on my side, my tent, about what I'm doing. He says hello, introduces himself, goes about his day. Or I see fishermen everywhere. There's no really like no people, which is quite interesting. And everyone's been pretty nice. They've just been curious, so it's interesting to see what you hear about the area. But yeah, yesterday, extreme pain. We'll see how it holds up. Obviously it's better in the morning. I don't know how it's going to be when I get going and things get wet again, but fingers crossed it doesn't get too bad, because I'm just over a days to Portobelo, which is the point where I get my passport stamped, and then it will be to Capurgana from there. So we'll see how that holds up. Let's get going. So getting close to Portobelo, or Porto, the last stop in Panama, where I'll get my eggs stamped and then head on to Colombia, and then the next stop right after that will be Capurgana. So it's coming to a close, which is good, because the chafing has just not let up. It's every day I get maybe about 2 solid hours paddling relief, and then it starts back up again and gets right back to where it was. So lots of fun there, but almost done. Feels kind of weird, feels good. It's been 3 weeks basically. Just about, no, it'll be over 3 weeks, but just over. So it's just a very long time to spend at sea. But yeah, so I'm excited to finish and get back on the bicycle. Good morning. It is, I'm in Portobelo, I believe. I'll fix that pronunciation if I do it wrong. But yeah, it's just technically till today, and then I'll be in Capurgana. I get my stamp. The office, I was told last night, doesn't open till 9. So I think I'm gonna go get some bread because I'm basically out of food. See if that's open, maybe some breakfast. But yeah, I'm getting excited to be finished. So that concludes my journey from Panama to Colombia. Please feel free to like and subscribe and comment. I would love to hear from you. But I know I don't have any footage, but after Portobelo, I made it to Capurgana, and from there I tried to sell my kayak for 3 weeks. That's a story for another time. I've definitely struggled how to best share this footage. It was definitely just a lot of talking to the camera, and I kind of wanted to keep that authentic to itself, because a lot of it just was kind of me talking through the day-to-day to get through the long journey. It was 21 days at sea. The journey itself was intense in a lot of ways, and so I didn't want to hide any of that behind anything. But thank you so much for watching.